Hi, my name is Cassandra. I manage the Young Lawyers Section at the Law Institute of Victoria. I studied an arts law degree at Monash University. I went on exchange in 2007, which would have been around about my penultimate year of study.
So my name is Laura van Stekelenburg. I'm a lawyer currently working in commercial law at Harwood and I studied at Bond University in Queensland. I completed an exchange starting in January 2013, and that was in Belgium at Ghent University. So I chose Ghent University because I actually went to a presentation by a professor from the university. He worked part-time between the university in Queensland that I was studying at and then in Belgium part-time. And I guess hearing from someone firsthand about the culture of the student experience was something that really drew me to study in Ghent. And my dad's actually Dutch as well, so that was a bit of a draw card to be in Flanders. And I said I'd learn Dutch, but I didn't quite get there.
I decided to go on exchange to Copenhagen because I had a group of friends that I studied law with that were planning on going there, and I decided that it sounded like a fun way to spend one of the last years of my university degree.
So I was actually surprised by how onerous the study commitments were. A lot of people say that it's quite easy when you're on exchange, but I was studying master's subjects when I was still doing an LLB. Because of the English requirements, they only do their English legal subjects at a master's level. Also because I didn't have any background knowledge of European law, it was a bit challenging to start off with, but at the same time, it wasn't, because I think that the Australian law schools are quite challenging in general, perhaps compared to European ones, and I thought I had a good basis of study skills that I was able to use. And so whilst it was a bit difficult, it was definitely still worthwhile.
Well, Copenhagen, the University of Copenhagen do things a little differently. So all of the exams are oral exams, so there's no written exams. Initially I thought that was a great idea, but the study commitments are exactly the same, if not a little bit more onerous, because you do need to keep on top of the study throughout the semester in order to answer the oral questions at the end of the semester. And I think there's a little bit of a misconception that when you're doing oral exams that you don't necessarily need to keep on top of the reading and all of those sorts of things, but that was definitely a misconception that I had, and I realised pretty quickly when exam time came around that I needed to do some more study.
So I guess some of the top tips for making the most would be get involved in their exchange student network, or Erasmus network as it often is in Europe. Really go to the social events, live in residences if you have the opportunity to, spend as much time away from other Australians perhaps, because it's very easy to stay with what you're comfortable with, but if you make the effort to get out and meet the internationals, then once you are travelling afterwards, then you'll have so many people to go meet in their hometown, experience their culture. That's probably my main tip. The other tip would be take lots of photos because there will be lots of memories, and you want to be able to make sure that people at home feel like they're still in touch with you, and make the most of social media as it is now to stay connected with people.
I would say to make sure that you choose the timing that's going to work best for you. I chose probably the wrong time in my degree to travel. I decided to go away in the first semester of my penultimate year, but what that actually meant is that when I came back from exchange, there were a few subjects that I couldn't do in semester 2 because I hadn't completed the semester 1 component. So in effect that added 6 months to my degree. So I would just recommend that anyone intending on going on an exchange consult with their university to make sure that they've got the timing right. My second tip would be to make sure that you keep on top of the study. It probably sounds like an obvious one, but it's very easy to get carried away because you're in a new country and there's lots of new and exciting things happening. But if you stay on top of the reading very early on in particular, then you'll find it a lot easier at the end of the semester when it comes to exam period. My third tip would be to make sure you make the most of the fact that if you choose Europe, that you're in Europe. You can get anywhere from any city in Europe in about 2 to 3 hours, so make sure you make the most of that opportunity because it's a really great way to see the world.